Kate has had both children at the exclusive Lindo wing attached to St. Mary's Hospital, Paddington, and after 2 successful deliveries she is more than likely to return there in April or May. William was born there in 1982 when his mother Diana gave birth for the first time. There was a 23-strong team working to help the Duchess give birth in 2013 and 2015. Marcus Secchel delayed his retirement after the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge asked him to oversee the birth of their first child, the third in line to the throne, Jill Dando's fiancé when she was murdered. Alan Farthing, 54, now the surgeon gynecologist to the royal household after Mr. Secchel finished work, is likely to deliver the royal couple's third child. Kate has made no secret of her desire for a third child, confiding how broody she feels on several occasions. She is one of 3 and had a happy home life with her sister, Pippa Matthews, and brother, James Middleton, and is close to both of her siblings. By having more than 2 offspring, William and Kate are following in the footsteps of the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh, who went on to have 4 children, although there was a gap of 10 years between their second child, Anne, and third, Andrew. An age gap of less than 2 years between Prince George and Princess Charlotte gave Kate enough time to try for a third before she reached her late 30s, when women's fertility starts to decline more rapidly. But William, who is one of 2 siblings, may have needed more convincing. On an overseas tour to Singapore in 2012, when he was asked by a group of teenagers how many children he would like to have, he said he was thinking about having 2. The couple talked openly of having a family when they announced their engagement and planned ahead by saving the top of their wedding cake, traditionally served at the christening of a firstborn. The news was announced as the royal couple were preparing to send their eldest child, Prince George, off to school for the first time on Thursday, but she could miss the school start if she remains too unwell to leave Kensington Palace. They have chosen a fee-paying independent school in a South London borough for their 4-year-old son. Thomas's Battersea will welcome the young prince and his parents on Thursday. George's first day at school will also mark a new chapter for the Cambridges, as they are now mainly based in their Kensington Palace apartment rather than their Norfolk home at Mer Hall. William, who quit his job as a pilot for the East Anglian Air Ambulance in July to become a full-time royal, is also due to attend the National Mental Health and Policing Conference in Oxford on Tuesday. The couple's third child will be born 5th in line to the throne, bumping Uncle Harry out of the top 5 and into 6th place. The Prince of Wales is first in line, followed by William, Prince George and the couple's daughter Princess Charlotte, who is 2. Kate had been due to visit the Hornsey Road Children's Centre in London to hear about the mental health impact of becoming a mother. Clarence Howe said of heir to the throne Charles and the Duchess of Cornwall, "They are delighted at the news." Kensington Palace visitors were delighted that Prince William and Kate Middleton, the Duchess of Cambridge, are expecting their third child. A brief appearance of an ambulance made some concern the Duchess was being taken to hospital, but it later emerged a visitor had fallen ill in the gardens. Caroline Hughes, 62, from Lancaster, said she heard about the announcement as she was travelling to visit the palace gardens with her husband. She said, "We literally heard the news just before we came and we're delighted for William and Kate. They're such a lovely couple. We always keep an eye on what they're doing, so to be visiting London makes it extra special. We'd heard she's suffering with bad morning sickness and obviously hope she's okay and wish her all the best. I remember last time when Charlotte was born she had the same thing." Alice Walsh, 41, from Dorking in Surrey, said, "I'm delighted for them. George and Charlotte are adorable and it's so lovely they'll have another little brother or sister. The royal family are great for this country and Prince William and Kate are such good representatives. It means a lot to be here with the announcement being made. Who knows, in future we might also be hearing about baby number 4. I think that would be wonderful." The Duchess of Cambridge announced she is expecting her third child, 2 months after joking with Prince William that they will have to have more babies. The 35-year-old was on a royal tour of Poland when she was given a cuddly toy designed for newborns. Saying thank you for receiving the toy created to help soothe babies, she turned to her husband and joked while laughing, "We will just have to have more babies." The soft toys are designed by Wizbear and are supposed to comfort newborns by mirroring the sounds from the womb. She speculated about having another child during a reception in Warsaw, just hours before she donned a dazzling ivory gown for a garden party in the Queen's honor. Kate attended the event with her husband and was photographed barely touching her glass of wine. Julia Celica Josterzybska, who founded the company with her sister, said Kate made the joke after learning the bears were designed for children younger than George, 3 and Charlotte, 4. She said, "We gave the Duchess some presents for Prince George and Princess Charlotte. She said they should have more babies, and they laughed." Kensington Palace announced the royal couple are expecting their third child together. The Duchess, who is believed to be between 8 and 12 weeks pregnant, battled hyperemesis gravidarum during her first 2 pregnancies and was hospitalized when expecting George in 2012. As the news broke that the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are expecting their third child, it was only a matter of moments before tributes flooded in. Social media erupted with messages from royalists and well-wishers congratulating the couple on their pregnancy. Kensington Palace took to Twitter to announce the news on Monday morning, and the tweet has thus far received over 65,000 likes with the hashtag #RoyalBaby currently the top trending subject on Twitter. But on top of felicitations, it didn't take long for wisecracking netizens to share their hilarious tweets in response to the news. Several memes have already popped up in reaction to the announcement, including one witty tweeter who shared "Have a break, have a kid" Kate parodying the famous Kit Kat slogan. Elsewhere, users couldn't help but feel a little sympathetic toward Prince Harry, whose position as 5th in line to the throne has now been ousted to 6th. Other fans were highly amused by one local paper's coverage of the news, with Daily Post opting for the headline "Former Anglesey helicopter pilot expecting third child." Many remarked on the couple's ever-growing brood, parodying the announcement with movie sequels, with one Twitter user referring to the royal era as "royal baby, Tokyo Drift." Meanwhile, several eagle-eyed tweeters accused William of planning the pregnancy specifically for this time, pointing out that 2 weeks of his paternity leave will take place during the World Cup. The happy news that George, 4, and Charlotte, 2, will have a new sibling next year came later via Kensington Palace, who said in a statement, "Their Royal Highnesses the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are very pleased to announce that the Duchess of Cambridge is expecting their third child. The Queen, Prince Charles, the Duchess of Cornwall and other members of both families are delighted with the news. The child will be born 5th in line to the throne, bumping Uncle Harry out of the top 5 and into 6th place." The Queen has officially opened the UK's tallest bridge in a special ceremony, just hours after Kensington Palace announced the news of a new royal baby. The monarch, accompanied by the Duke of Edinburgh, cut a ribbon to signify the formal opening of the new Queensferry crossing across the Firth of Forth. Hundreds of people, mainly schoolchildren, cheered as the Queen cut the ribbon on the south side of the bridge after the royal couple met First Minister Nicola Sturgeon, constructors' representatives and local officials. The bridge was also blessed by Church of Scotland moderator the Right Rev. Derek Browning. Kensington Palace this morning announced that the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are expecting a third child, adding that the Queen and other members of the royal family were delighted at the news. The event to unveil the £1.35 billion crossing after 6 years of construction work is taking place exactly 53 years on from the day when the monarch opened the neighbouring Forth Road Bridge. Philip, 96, bid farewell to his own royal jobs at Buckingham Palace at the start of August, but officials stressed that he may still accompany the Queen at her events from time to time. Speaking earlier about the ceremony, Ms. Sturgeon said, "Importantly, this celebratory event will recognise the thousands of people who have been involved in the construction of the new bridge. The Queensferry crossing is a symbol of a confident, forward-looking Scotland and, as well as providing a vital transport connection for many years to come, it is a truly iconic structure and a feat of modern engineering." The formal ceremony is the high point in a week of events marking the opening of the bridge, more than a decade after plans for it were drawn up. On Monday of last week, the crossing was illuminated by a nighttime light show to reflect the symbolic handover of the bridge from the contractors to the Scottish Government. The first cars drove over the structure in the early hours of Wednesday, with many of the motorists sounding their horns and blowing whistles as they crossed. Sightseers eager to try out the crossing when daylight came then contributed to long delays on its first day of operation. What is the Duchess of Cambridge's condition? Kate suffers from extreme morning sickness that strikes just 1% of pregnant women and can be deadly. The rare pregnancy condition which the Duchess of Cambridge suffers from can be deadly. Medical literature shows hyperemesis gravidarum, HG, which strikes just 1% of pregnancies, is a complication that causes excessive nausea and vomiting. Unlike regular morning sickness, it doesn't fade away with time. It is also considered to be the second leading cause of hospitalization during pregnancy. More than 1,000 abortions each year are linked to the severe pregnancy sickness, which can leave some women bedbound. It may not clear up completely until the baby is born, although some symptoms may improve at around 20 weeks. Some pregnant women are sick many times a day and are unable to keep food or drink down, which can have a negative effect on their daily life. Many mothers-to-be may lose up to 10% of their body weight when they are supposed to be gaining about 1 pound a week. This can trigger a buildup of toxins in the blood or urine known as ketosis as the body tries to compensate for lack of food. Exactly how many pregnant women get HG is not known, as some cases may go unreported, but it's thought to be around 1 in every 100. Signs and symptoms of HG include prolonged and severe nausea and vomiting, dehydration, low blood pressure and rapid weight loss. Hospital treatment for these women is essential, as without intravenous feeding and fluids they are at risk of becoming dangerously dehydrated. Until intravenous hydration was introduced in the 1950s, it was the leading cause of maternal death. Marlena Schoenberg-Fejzo, a medicine researcher at the University of California, Los Angeles, previously told The Conversation, but she warned that the condition is neither well understood nor well known. Even with the flurry of headlines after it was announced Kate was struck down by it. The condition can also affect the baby's development and there is a risk it will be premature or have a very low birth weight. In severe cases, the sickness can trigger a miscarriage. It can also cause an abnormally fast heart rate in the mother. Medical literature states, the condition is thought to be caused by elevated levels of pregnancy hormone HCG, or human chorionic gonadotropin, which increases after conception. There is no cure, but one of the most effective treatments is the drug ondansetron, which is taken twice a day at a cost of £3.50 per pill. Caitlin Dean, chairman of Pregnancy Sickness Support, previously said, the severity of the condition should not be underestimated and the risks and complications of not treating it need to be appreciated. The Duchess, 33, cancelled engagements last autumn as she battled HG, and in 2012, while expecting Prince George, she was admitted to hospital when HG left her severely dehydrated. Duchess of Cambridge's third pregnancy means a sibling for George and Charlotte is set to arrive in late April, but what will the newest family member be called? The Duchess of Cambridge is pregnant with her third child, a sibling for Prince George and Princess Charlotte, but when will the latest family member arrive? While most parents don't announce the happy news until the crucial 12-week stage, the Duchess is suffering from hyperemesis gravidarum, or severe morning sickness, a condition that is usually detected around the 6-week mark. When pregnant with Princess Charlotte, Kate had to announce the news early after the condition forced her to pull out of planned engagements, and yesterday's announcement from Kensington Palace came as she cancelled a planned visit to a children's charity in London this afternoon. Presuming Kate is around 6 to 8 weeks pregnant, the new arrival can be expected in late April or early the following month, around the time of Princess Charlotte's birthday on May 2. The couple will also be busy considering baby names in the next months, with Alice and Victoria the most popular choices for a girl and Arthur and Alexander the favorites for a boy. Bookies Ladbrokes are already taking bets on the new arrival, making it even money. George and Charlotte are joined by a sister, and the same price is on offer for a brother. If it's a girl, Alice is the favorite name while Arthur tops the charts for a boy. It's likely the couple will choose a name with some kind of royal significance. But as the new baby will be fifth in line to the throne, there's no pressure to name them after a past monarch like Big Brother and future King, Prince George. New royal baby will see Prince Harry pushed down to sixth in line to the throne. But law change means Princess Charlotte will stay as fourth even if Kate has a boy. The birth of Duchess of Cambridge's third baby will mean that Prince Harry will become sixth in line to the throne, while Princess Charlotte will remain fourth in line. The current order of succession is Prince Charles, Prince William, Prince George, followed by Charlotte and Harry. A law change in 2013 before the birth of George means that male members of the royal family no longer overtake their sisters in the line of succession. This means that Charlotte will remain as fourth in line to the throne, regardless of whether the new baby is a boy or a girl. The royal succession bill was rushed through Parliament following the announcement that Kate was pregnant with her first child in 2012. The law change was made to ensure that William and Kate's first child could succeed to the throne, regardless if the baby was a boy or a girl. The Succession to the Crown Act 2013 was brought in accordance with the 2011 Perth Agreement, which was signed off by Prime Ministers of the 16 Commonwealth realms. The act also ended the disqualification of a person who married a Roman Catholic from the line of succession, and removed the need for those outside the first 6 persons in line to the throne to seek the monarch's approval to marry. There had been fears there could be a constitutional crisis if Kate and William had a baby girl before the law was changed, but the Queen approved the historic change by giving royal assent to the Succession to the Crown Act in April 2013, before the birth of George in July. Under the ancient rules of male primogeniture, firstborn royal daughters in direct line to the throne were overtaken by younger male siblings. However, the law was widely criticized and viewed as outdated and discriminatory. The scrapped law of male primogeniture only allowed Elizabeth II to become queen because she did not have any brothers. The change in succession rules is not retrospective, so the Princess Anne did not jump ahead of her younger brothers Prince Andrew and Prince Edward. After Harry in the line of succession is Andrew, followed by his daughters Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie. Business as usual. Prince Harry is all smiles as he arrives in Manchester for a day of engagements. As it's revealed, the new royal baby will oust him as 5th in line to the throne. This morning's announcement of a 3rd baby for the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge has pushed Harry out of the top 5 in the line of succession, making him 6th in line to the throne. But it was business as usual for the prince this morning, who looked in great spirits as he arrived in Manchester for a day of engagements. The visit begins with a return to Canada Street in Newton Heath, which he visited 2 years ago as part of the BBC's DIY SOS project, to redevelop derelict homes for ex-service personnel. Prince Harry was visiting Manchester to see health workers helping those affected by the terror attack on the city. Harry will visit the NHS Manchester Resilience Hub, set up as a dedicated mental health service for those affected by the suicide bombing of Manchester Arena on May 22, which left 22 dead and scores injured. Later he will travel across the city to Manchester City Football Club to drop in on a training session with local schoolchildren given by apprentice sports coaches. His last engagement will be to attend a reception hosted by the Rugby Football League, RFL, where he will meet members of the England squad, as well as coaches such as Kevin Sinfield, Jamie Peacock, Dennis Betts and Paul Sculthorpe, along with support staff as they prepare for the World Cup in Australia and New Zealand this autumn.